Hello YouTube, this is Fat Guy Flies RC. Today we're going to do a little video to explanation of a few things. Now if you're new to the hobby and more than likely you have purchased a plane from your local retailer and it's got something called Safe or Safe Select and you're wondering what the heck is that, right? Alright, I'm going to explain that to you and try to put it in terms that are simple, you know, because hey, I'm simple. Alright, we have a very expensive model here. This will set you back at least, you know, $1. Here's your model. You purchased this model, put your hard-earned money into it, and it's got Safe Select. Or it's got or if you got an older one, it's got Safe with a panic recovery. Okay? Now, what SAFE stands for? It's an acronym for Sensory Assisted Flight Envelope, or SAFE. Okay? And that's exactly what it is. What that means is that you've purchased your plane from e-flite or Hobby Zone, or you've got that brand of plane, and it's got Safe Select in the receiver, it's programmed in the receiver. That means that there's a gyro inside this plane. And this plane and that gyro, that receiver has been tuned to this plane. And that receiver knows that when this plane is happy and when it's at its best performance, it's flying along nice and level. And so it knows that it's like zero station. That's my happy zone right there. Okay? And then all of a sudden this crazy person that's controlling me wants to go up. Well, then it knows, okay, we're going up. And it allows the control surfaces to allow you to do that. And you want to bank right, or you want to bank left, or you want to dive, or you want to go upside down, but all of a sudden you're new and you don't know what you're doing and you're out of control. You let go of the sticks and the plane goes back to its happy spot. That's what Safe Select does. It says it's fixed position, knowing where it's supposed to fly at a normal rate or a normal level. And when you let go of the sticks, because you're like, oh my gosh, the plane comes right back to flying level again. So think of Safe as self-leveling. Okay? Think of Safe as a self-leveling feature that your plane has. Now, is that going to save you? Because if you're flying to the side of the barn and you go back to Safe Select, guess what? It's not going to save you. Okay? There is no programming that I know of, except maybe some of this new stuff they do with the satellite might do it, but with the I'm not into that. We're not going to talk about that. But Safe Select basically will self-right your plane, get it back to its happy, nice, level flight. Now, that's Safe. The Select part means, I'll put this expensive model down, which the Safe Select means that you can select on a programmable receiver or transmitter like the DX9 here, DX6, DX8, all any of them. You can program that to one of these switches here. Okay, you can open switch. Okay, just be aware. You know, if you buy a plane, it's going to tell you how many channels you need. And if it has Safe Select with 6 channels, well then you're in good shape. But if it's got a bunch of stuff, like it's got flaps and retracts and lights and all that, going to need 7 channels. So a DX6 it would still work, but you're going to have to give up a functionality. You're going to have to give up flaps, or you're going to have to give up your retracts, or whatever you want to do. So and there's other combinations, but they're way too complicated for a newer person. So that means you're going to need a transmitter with 7 channels. So if you're going to get a new transmitter, get something that you can grow into, like a DX9. Not trying to plug them, but hey, why not prepare for the future? So anyway, Safe Select, you can put it on a switch. You can select a switch. And it's very simple instructions on how to do that in the manual of your plane, or about 80,000 YouTube videos on how to do that. So that's that. Now let's show you Safe Select, or the Safe part, in action in an actual model, not that expensive foam thing there. Alright, here we have the Aero Scout, right? Okay. Aero Scout. Turn the motor back on. The Aero Scout's flying along nice and happy, right? Okay, she's flying along nice and level. Control surfaces are nice and level. I've got Safe Select activated. Okay, what it's going to do, it rolls this way. See that control surface came up? Alright, if I let go of the sticks, now it's still going to fly this way because I'm holding it like that. But the moment I let go, it's going to go back to level. Because that's the way the control surfaces are wanting to do. See that one? That one goes up. See the tail? See the horizontal stabilizer? As you can see better at this angle. As I tilt up, or if I go down with the plane, this tilts up because what that would do, it would level the plane again if I let go of the sticks. I would enable the self-leveling feature. Now, on my receiver, I can turn that off. Okay? I can turn that off. Now, I don't have self-leveling. I have what you call A3X. And these kind of planes, the planes of Horizon Hobby, e-flite, and they have Safe Select or a bind and fly with a receiver already in it. You're going to have A3X no matter what. Okay. Now, what A3X is? People say, well, what's A3X? You know, come on. It's an acronym. I don't know what the acronym actually stands for, but it has to do with the programming for you to combat outside forces. So, in other words, I'm flying along. Here are the gyros. Here are the receivers. Okay. I'm flying along, and I'm going nice and straight, and I'm happy. Okay? The wind comes from this direction. Can't see the wind. Comes from this direction. All right? I'm not wanting to do this, because that's what the wind would naturally do. It would push this plane over here, right? If the wind came like this, it would push this plane. What that does is the computer's smart enough to know that this outside force is not my idiot pilot who's trying to control me and acts like he knows what he's doing. It isn't him or her. It's something else. It's an outside force. It's a wind. So, the ailerons, elevator, rudder, they're going to react to buffer against that. So now, if the wind's a lot stronger than the force of the airplane, of course it's still going to blow. But it's going to try to level that back out and fight against that wind a little bit so you can fly a little more stable. There again, it's not going to save you if you go into the side of a barn. It just makes it so that the outside forces of wind and rain, anything that you're flying in, it keeps your flight the way you're wanting to fly it. If you're wanting to go straight, it's going to go straight. If you're wanting to fly upside down, it's going to fly upside down. It's going to allow you to keep the direction that you're going in. It's allowing the plane to try to stay with your control, not what the outside forces are doing to it. That's what A3X, just a little bit of a gyro stabilization is basically what it is. Now, it's not self-leveling. If you're flying like this in A3X, flying along, you're going to stay flying like this. The A3X is kind of keeping that locked in to where you hear that it's locked in or it's dialed in. That A3X helps you kind of keep that attitude without the wind messing with it. It'll kind of buffer that a little bit and kind of keep you going that way instead of just going off crazy. Okay? That's what A3X does. It kind of helps you. It'll make a smaller plane fly or feel like a much larger plane that can resist the wind. That's what A3X is. Now, back to our extremely expensive model. Here it goes. Very, very expensive, very intricate model. Okay? Flying along, it does not have safe. Does not have A3X stabilization. Doesn't have anything. And the wind blows it this way. If it's wide enough and you don't have control, guess what it's going to keep doing? Okay? So in other words, when you fly without safe, without A3 stabilization, it's all you. It's you and the laws of physics on this plane. A lot of guys like that. And I myself do. I like to have complete control. But I want to tell you something. We're not made of money. We can't afford expensive models like this thing. Okay? And when you got a couple $100 of your hard-earned money flying around that air, and you think, I'm going to be a real man, I don't need no stabilization, I don't need all that crap. No, I can really fly, yeah, I can do it. Okay, swallow your pride. Unless you just want to throw away your money, why not have the help? Safe select means you can turn it off. In the A3X, you still have to have skill. You still have to have all the things you need to have a pilot to be a successful pilot. You have to have all those skills. You'll fly the side of the barn if you let it. A3X just makes it a little more dialed in. It makes it present itself a little bit better in the air. You have a little more positive control on the plane. The plane's doing what it's supposed to do more than allow the wind to influence it. That's all A3X does. Okay? So you pilots are out there, I'm not going to have anything. Okay, fine. And then when you crash your plane, you're, oh gosh darn it was the wind. No, it was you. No, it was you. You didn't have control of your plane. You flew it around. Didn't know what you're doing. I couldn't tell you how many, and I have several planes that don't have Safe Select or A3X. You can see it right here. That great big 1800 millimeter Ranger. It don't have anything. It has no stabilization at all. No. Safe by itself. You talk to Jason Merkel or Cody Adair at Horizon Hobby. You need to think of safe as training wheels for a bicycle or a safety net, if you will. Now, if that's the way you want to fly, fine. You go right ahead. It's your ball. It's your money. You bought it, or you was given you the gift. Then keep it on there. Just fly with safe. Always stay nice and level. You let go, you go back to level. You can fly around nice and out. Maybe you don't have a chance to fly that often, so you really can't advance your skills. But if you get into this hobby, you get bit by this bug like, I haven't been bit by the bug. Yeah. Anyways, I'm one plane away from a divorce. Anyways, as a pilot, and as you fly these planes, you're going to want to advance your skills. You're going to want to try, a knife edge. You're going to want to try, a nice big barrel roll. Okay. You're going to want to try those stall turns and all those neat things that safe is going to be very hard. You're not going to be able to do them with safe because it's going to want to self-level itself. You're going to fight it. A3X, you can do it. But the idea is that you want to keep progressing your skills to where you don't need safe. Put it on a switch. Turn it off. Just keep the A3X. You can still progress your skills nice and lovely, wonderful with A3X only. Okay? It's just a great thing to have. Don't just, if you can have it, you can have it. Some of my planes I just don't have it because to me I don't need it for my planes. The design of the planes, they're so stable. But if a lower wing plane or a warbird, you better believe I'm going to have A3X because it takes more to fly those kind of planes. There's a little more skill. I want all the help I can get. Doesn't mean I can't progress as a pilot though. So all of those don't like safe. You got that old school sort of feel about it. Sorry, that's the way of the future. Get over it. And but don't use safe as a crutch. Allow yourself to progress. Get to where you can fly your plane in A3X only, and you can do upside down and all kinds of maneuvers, and you're confident with that plane. But keep that safe select on a switch, because you know what? We all have bad days. Y'all watch my videos. I've got some really bad days, some bad crashes where I've gotten flying with my head up my butt. There's some planes I wish I had safe select put on because I could have flipped a switch and saved myself a couple $100 and gone back. I still would have learned because I would have saw what I almost did and said, okay, I don't want to do that again, and I would have been able to progress. You're only going to learn when you make mistakes. Victories are great, but the failures are what you learn from, okay? And if you run safe all the time, your chances of having any failures or close calls are probably not going to happen as much. So you've got to get to where you take a little bit of risk, and you kind of, you got to kind of push the envelope a little bit. That way you learn. Safe enabled me to get into this hobby on my own. I had no one to learn from. Nobody I could go to. I didn't know any local fields. I didn't know anybody. My wife said, hey, why don't you get into this hobby? You'll probably like it. I said, you're right. I think I'll give it a shot. I bought a Hobby Zone Delta Ray, the bigger one. They don't make it anymore. Big mistake. And taught myself how to fly. Have the 3 levels: the beginner, the intermediate, and the advanced. Taught myself how to fly. Nice, slow, stable airplane. Then I bought a high wing trainer. you know, I want to say it was one of the similar to this J Cup, okay, high wing type trainer. It had safe select, continue to select, continue to grow. Got this one, the Hobby Zone F4U Corsair with 3 levels. It still had safe. Was able to progress even further. Then I got to where I didn't need safe anymore. Started flying without it. Realized that I don't want safe. I keep it on a switch if a lot of my models, but don't need it. Don't even have to have it. Now in the past year, any plane I get that has bind and fly or a new receiver, I don't even have safe at all. A lot of my planes. But I've gotten so confident through a lot of money and a lot of expense to where I can fly. I'm now at a level I've developed that feel of the airplane. So I kind of have my own internal safe. I know where that plane, when you have to get to that point where you can feel that plane through your transmitter, you can feel it. People say, how's she feel? How's she feel? That's because that pilot has developed enough of a skill. Okay. Enough of a skill where he can feel that plane. When you get to that point, you probably don't need safe select anymore. Just the A3X only, just to make it nice. Okay? You don't need it anymore. If you want to keep it, keep it. But you need to get to the point to where you don't need safe. It enabled me to get into the hobby. It enabled me to start flying. But when I got to the point where I could feel the airplane through the transmitter, I could feel it, and I knew how it felt up and down and all that. I knew then I didn't need safe select. So now I just do A3X only or nothing. That's me though. That's me. Okay? You do what you need to do because that's your money out of your back pocket that you're spending on that plane. Okay, well we've had our personal rant now about safe. Like I say, it's a training tool. The idea is to grow and progress beyond it. Okay? But I'm not buying your planes for you. You are. So you do what you want. Anyways, folks, that's it. This is a very expensive model. Thank you for watching. This is Fat Guy Flies RC, and I hope that my simple terms have explained safe and A3X to you, put it where you understand it. That's all I can really say about that. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my videos. I can keep bringing these things to you, and I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Hit the very expensive